Step 6. Step 6, waste reduction initiatives. Next, in Ireland, they put a 15-cent tax on plastic shopping bags. Next, in 1 year, they reduced the sale of those bags by 92% in 1 year. Next, in Italy, little creativity at the front end saves millions at the back end. Creativity, Italian creativity. Next, in Italy, you have supermarkets which are encouraging people to refill their own shampoo bottles, their own detergent bottles. Bravo! In Capanori, in Tuscany, there's a new store called Efficorta. Next, they have 60 taps to fill detergents, shampoo, acqua, bieri, latte, miele, vino rosso, vino bianco, olio. Okay, next, detergents. Next, olive oil. Next, this is, no, wait. I just get this glass over here, and I take a little bit of this, very good, a little bit of this, very good, a little bit of this, very good. And this is education, because behind these barrels, it tells you where each of the wines come from. Very, very good. This is my favorite place in the whole of Italy.
Questo è il suo posto preferito al mondo.
Next. And they don't use plastic. If you don't have your own bag, you can buy jute or cotton bags.
Beh, non utilizzate i sacchetti di plastica, ma se potete acquistate i sacchi di juta.
And this is a food store, and over 95% of all the products come within 70 kilometers. All the products come from 70 kilometers.
Tutti i prodotti in questo paese Capannori arrivano da un raggio di 70 km massimo.
So, prossimo. We need to combine zero waste with 0 kilometers, the slow food movement.
Quindi il rifiuto zero va direttamente, proporzionalmente, di pari passo con il chilometro zero. E quindi lo slow food, come lo chiamano.
You know, in Italy you have slow food. In America we have fast food.
In Italia fortunatamente abbiamo lo slow food, mentre in America c'è il fast food.
Bravo Italy.
Meglio in Italia.
But in Italy you have fast coffee. In America we have slow coffee. Slow coffee. In Italy it's like breakfast. You come in breakfast. See? It's over. Breakfast is over. And I sit down for breakfast and I work with my computer for over an hour with my first cup of coffee. Slow coffee. Never mind.
Beh, in Italia noi abbiamo il caffè veloce, mentre in America hanno il lento caffè. Il primo caffè della mattina lui impiega un'ora a berselo.
The next person. Okay, here the bambini. These are Rossano Ercolini's children, and it is school. And they've got rid of the plastic. Get rid of the plastic. They're using glass and tap water, not bottled water, and they're using glass, vetro, and steel ferro, and ceramica instead of plastic. No plastic. So that's what we need to do throughout Italy, in every school, in every college, in every university, in every institution. Please, let's have glass and china and stainless steel, and yes, let's pay people to wash that instead of paying the waste industry, the incinerators, to burn the plastic. No.
Professor, let me translate.
We want jobs, not plastic.
Ok.
Lavoro, not plastic.
Non plastica. Dice noi cominciare come facciamo la maggior parte di noi a casa ad utilizzare vetro, ferro, comunque materiali lavabili anche a tavola nell'alimentazione, anche a scuola e negli uffici pubblici. Spendiamo soldi per pagare qualcuno che lava i bicchieri di vetro o i piatti di ceramica piuttosto che pagare per comprare plastica e poi smaltirla successivamente.
When you go to a landfill, a discarica, what do you see? Plastic, 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 plastic. We've been buried in plastic.
Ovunque andare c'è plastica, tanto da esserne sommersi.
Prossimo. We must involve our children in zero waste.
Bisogna coinvolgere i bambini nel rifiuto zero.
Next, we must involve our babies in zero waste.
Anche i neonati.
Next, here's a zero waste baby. Zero waste baby with eco bimbi, reusable pannolini.
Anche riutilizzare i pannolini lavabili.
Next.
Come si faceva fino a pochissimo tempo fa.
Step 7, economic incentives. Now the way this works, the pay-by-bag system, the compostables, gratis. The recyclables, gratis. But the frazione residua, the more you make, the more you pay. Now this is, in my view, this is a much better system than the Italian tax. You just had a huge tax on waste, and how do they tax you? By the surface area, your ground area of your house. There's no incentive for people to make less waste. But if they know that everything they recycle is free and everything that they compost is free and only the stuff that's left over, then you will see the waste go down.
Allora il professore ci tiene ad evidenziare il sistema di incentivo economico secondo cui il compostaggio deve essere, tutto quello che può essere mandato al compostaggio deve essere gratis, quindi non bisogna pagare per lo smaltimento. La stessa cosa, tutto quello che può essere riciclato deve essere gratis, e in più per quello che è la frazione residua bisogna pagare quello che si produce, quindi c'è l'incentivo a produrre meno frazione residua perché tu meno paghi.
Molto importante che dice anche la superficie dell'appartamento, noi paghiamo sulla
ok, naturalmente lui dice noi in Italia paghiamo la tax sulla superficie abitabile del nostro appartamento, chi la paga e chi la paga tutta, poi apriamo un altro discorso.
Pensionato, magari la casa grande paga.
I love everything about...
Non importa la frazione di residua prodotta, ma importa quanto grande sia l'appartamento in cui abitiamo, che è un controsenso.
I love everything about Italy. I love your food, I love your wine, I love your history, I love your music. Oh, sole mio! I love your culture. The only thing in Italy that I don't like are your politicians. I'm not talking about the local politicians, like your mayor and so on, like the mayors who declared zero waste. I'm talking about the big politicians. Talk. They don't listen to the people. They don't listen. They don't think. So what was the stupid politician doing that put a tax on waste on the basis of the surface area of your house? That politician is not listening. He's not listening to the hundreds of communities that have started Porta a Porta and the over 100 communities that have declared zero waste.
Come avrete capito, il professore adora l'Italia quasi in tutto, tranne che i politici italiani, ma non parla neanche dei politici locali, ma soprattutto dei grandi politici che parlano troppo, ma in realtà poi vengono fuori con delle idee stupide come far pagare la spazzatura su una superficie abitabile e non sulla spazzatura prodotta.
Che non ascolta.
Perché non ascoltano.
Prossimo. In Italia, this town of Villafranca d'Asti went from 70 raccolta differenziata to 85 very quickly, next, using a pay-by-bag system, and the person that designed this system, Roberto Cavallo, next, that's his website. So,
allora, Villafranca d'Asti ha raggiunto l'85% di differenziata grazie a un sistema messo su da Roberto Cavallo, e quello è il suo indirizzo di posta elettronica.
Prossimo. So now, here are the first 7 steps, next, and we can get between 75 and 85% raccolta differenziata with those first 7 steps. Next. So that's composting and recycling and reuse, deconstruction, waste reduction initiatives, and economic incentives. Now we've got to tackle the last remaining bit of the fraction.
Con i primi 7 step siamo arrivati all'85% di raccolta differenziata. Ora c'è ancora una frazione residua.
Next. So step 8, the most important step for zero waste.
Lo step numero 8 è quello più importante per avere rifiuti zero.
This is a residual separation plant coupled with a research center.
Centri di separazione dei residui e soprattutto il centro di ricerca.
Next, in Nova Scotia, in Canada, they built these residual separation centers. Next, they're built davanti discarica, in front of the landfill. Next, and no waste, no residual waste can go directly into the discarica. It must go through this building. Okay? Next. So here, I'm standing in front of this facility in Nova Scotia. Next, and in the building they pull out more recyclables, more toxics. Next, here you see a well-protected man, gloves, mask, hat, pulling out items which are recyclable.
Allora, in questo impianto in Nord Scozia ci sono questi addetti ben protetti che separano la frazione residua.
And next, and the dirty organic fraction, the frazione organica sporca, is not touched. That works its way right to the end of the conveyor belt where it is shredded and goes through a second composting operation.
Allora, senza essere toccata la frazione organica sporca va un'altra volta in un secondo impianto di compostaggio.
Next, and here's the composting section of this facility. And next, the idea of this composting is to stabilize this organic fraction above ground before it causes problems underground.
Questa frazione di compost deve essere messa temporaneamente in degli impianti, in delle discariche temporanee, underground, sottoterra.
Yeah, and here is the landfill after this. This is the landfill in Nova Scotia. Next. Now, there's something missing here. What don't you see here that you normally see at landfills in that picture? What is missing? Anybody been to a landfill? Discarica?
Cosa vedete in questa foto che in genere non vedete nelle discariche tradizionali?
What is missing?
Cosa manca in questa foto?
The birds. That's right. No birds. So I think they're doing a good job stabilizing this organic fraction.
Quindi questa frazione organica stabilizzata non attira parassiti.
Next.
Parassiti.
So what we need to do now is to put inside these facilities zero waste research centers. Next. These zero waste research centers would get professors and students to study the non-recyclable fraction.
Quindi la frazione che rimane non riciclabile deve essere studiata dalle università locali o da centri di ricerca appositi affinché possa essere in futuro riutilizzata in qualche maniera.
Next. So we must involve our professori and studenti in zero waste. Next. And this center is where community responsibility and industrial responsibility come together, face to face.
In questa fase i centri di ricerca e le università, i professori, gli studenti e l'industria soprattutto devono unirsi.
Next. And the message that we need to send to industry, the community, if we can't reuse it, if we can't recycle it, if we can't compost it, then industry shouldn't be making it. Yes. Industry shouldn't be making it.
Quindi l'industria dovrebbe non produrre in un futuro ciò che non può essere riutilizzato o riciclato o messo in un impianto di compostaggio.
Next. And so Capanari actually launched a little research center back in 2010. Next. Next. And the first thing they did was to analyze the residual fraction, and they saw that number 2 in the residual fraction, Panolini.
Il comune di Capannori ha studiato quali sono.
So they encouraged the families to use reusable Panolini. In fact, in Capanari, the pharmacists give the first reusable Panolini to the new parents for free.
Allora, siccome a Capannori hanno studiato che uno dei maggiori agenti inquinanti non riutilizzabili erano i pannolini e i bambini, gli agricoltori come promozione alla rifiuti zero hanno dato il primo pacco di pannolini riutilizzabili ai genitori, alle coppie che avevano bambini piccoli.
Prossimo. Another thing that they keep finding in the residuals are these coffee capsules. Coffee capsules. Next, here we are, these coffee capsules. And right now, Ambiente Futuro in Capanari are negotiating with Lavasa to solve this problem.
Allora adesso un altro agente inquinante erano i podi, le capsule delle macchinette del caffè espresso, e adesso hanno cominciato gli amministratori di Capannori a negoziare con la Lavazza, produttrice di questo tipo di capsule.
Prossimo. So the fourth R, you are familiar with reduce, next, reuse and recycle compost. The fourth R is redesign. Redesign. Next, zero waste then. We need to reduce, reuse, recycle and compost, and that is community responsibility. And next, redesign is industrial responsibility.
Allora, per il rifiuto zero ci sono due tipi di responsabilità. La responsabilità della riduzione, del riuso, del riciclo e del compostaggio appartengono alla comunità, mentre il redesign, cioè il reinventare, il ridisegnare, appartiene all'industria, quindi è una responsabilità dell'industria.
So next step 9 then, of course, step 9 is better industrial design. And steps 1 through 9, we can get 85 to 95% reduction. Next, step 10, you've already seen, is the backup landfill. Next, you've seen what that looks like in Nova Scotia. Next, and so the total 10 steps looks like this: source separation, door-to-door collection, composting, recycling, reuse. The first 4 you're doing a lot in Italy. We need more reuse, I think, in Italy. You're seeing important waste reduction steps in Italy. I think this needs to be worked on, economic incentives. We've seen the research centre started in Italy, but we need to see these residual separation facilities built davanti discarica. Industrial responsibility, I think that will come in Italy. and it just leaves us with the temporary landfill, which we hope by 2020 is poco piccolo.
Allora, di questi 10 punti, questi 10 step per il rifiuto zero, diciamo che dove l'Italia è maggiormente carente sono gli incentivi economici, soprattutto la costruzione degli impianti di fronte alla discarica e soprattutto la responsabilità industriale.
Next. And what I like about this is that zero waste begins with everybody's hands. This is where it begins, here, right here. We've all got these. Most of us have got these 10 things. But by the time we get here with the research center and industrial design, we are challenging the brightest minds of our professors and students at university and our designers in industry. So it ends up here, the best minds that we can have, but it begins with all of us.
Allora, per quanto riguarda la responsabilità industriale, ci sono le più brillanti menti al lavoro nel campo della differenziazione e della ricerca. Professor, I didn't hear you very well.
Yes, okay, that's right. I think we've got it.
Can you speak to
yeah, I will. Sorry, thank you. Next one. So just as Porta is the trampolino to Rifiuti Zero, next, Rifiuti Zero is the trampolino to sustainability. Because next, we can link zero waste with many other aspects of sustainability. And that's why we need our professori and students to be working on those links. So we have a new term now, it's zero territories. Next, which consists of communities of zero waste. Next, 0 kilometers, slow food, and 0 emissions, delocalized energy. So we need to put all these things together. So there's a very big future after we start this zero.
Il prossimo step, allora, noi oggi abbiamo parlato del rifiuto zero, abbiamo parlato del chilometro zero e molto importante anche emissioni zero per un futuro lontano di sostenibilità.
Next, prossimo. So we have to say no to the throwaway society and yes to a sustainable society.
Di rifiutare la società dell'usa e getta e accogliere una società sostenibile.
Next, this plan is better for the economy, more jobs.
Quindi questo piano del zero waste è favorevole per è migliore. Fa bene all'economia e soprattutto crea posti di lavoro.
It's better for our health, less toxics.
Fa bene alla salute, meno agenti tossici.
It's not a coincidence that one of the big activists in Campania is Dr. Franco Maltroni. It's very important because he knows that people are being made sick by landfills and incinerators. And by going to zero waste, we're going to reduce
allora, tornando al punto, meno agenti tossici ed è meglio per le università, come il professore Matrone sa, perché sa benissimo che le discariche, tutto quello che è successo nel nostro territorio a Bosco Trecase sta portando malattie.
And it's better for our universities. More meaning. There's more meaning here.
Fa bene all'università perché dà significato alla ricerca universitaria.
Our professors and students are going to get involved with the real world.
Perché praticamente fa sì che i professori e gli studenti si sforzino per qualcosa di effettivamente riscontrabile all'interno della società.
And it's better for the planet. More sustainable.
È meglio per il pianeta che è più sostenibile.
And it's better for our children.
Ed è bene per i nostri bambini.
More hope.
Più speranza.
More hope. We tell our children every day global warming, ozone damage, the loss of forests, the loss of species, toxics in the oceans, toxics in our babies when they are born. We're telling our children there's no future. That's not good. It's not good to tell the next generation that there's no future.
È bene per i nostri bambini. Oggigiorno sentiamo riscaldamento globale, inquinamento, avvelenamento delle risorse naturali dei bambini, della salute dei nostri bambini, malattie della pelle, endemiche, tutto questo anche il nostro pianeta, quindi fa bene anche ai nostri bambini ridurre il rifiuto.
There is a plan to give our children a future. It's zero waste. Zero waste, a stepping stone to sustainability.
Allora, Zero Waste è una pietra miliare per dare un futuro ai nostri bambini e per la sostenibilità.
Now, again, for being positive, let's see how much is happening in Italy. Next. In January of 2011, there were 20 communities in Italy that had declared zero waste. Next, here are the 20 communities that declared zero waste, and I'm looking to see if there's any communities near Naples, near here, Boscarale. On October the 3rd, 2011, Naples declared a zero waste.
Nel 2011, il 3 ottobre, Napoli ha dichiarato una strategia di rifiuti zero.
Next, I was there with the mayor, magistrates, and
Sindaco di Napoli.
Next, and Tommaso
Il vice sindaco.
I was there in the building when they declared zero waste. Next, and here is Tommaso Sodano, who wrote the introduction to our book, and this is a press conference in Naples last March, when we released the book.
L'anno scorso il sindaco Tommaso ha scritto l'introduzione del libro Rifiuti Zero, e qui si trovano alla conferenza stampa l'anno scorso alla Feltrinelli.
Next. And when Naples declared zero waste, it brought the total to 56 towns. Next. With a total of nearly 2 million people involved in zero waste.
Ad oggi ci sono 2 milioni di persone, 56 comuni come si dice?
Next. And as of May of 2012, it jumped to 86. Next. And as of September, it jumped to 91. Next. And as of October, it jumped to 106. And I must say, and in the last few days, Torre Annunziata became number 117.
Torre Annunziata è il numero 117.
Declaring zero waste. I must direct your attention to this movie called Trashed, with our host Jeremy Irons, famous actor, Oscar-winning actor. This is a very powerful movie. It talks about the dangers of landfills, the dangers of incinerators, and it ends in San Francisco.
Questo film si chiama Trash con Jeremy Irons e parla di quello che portano le discariche, gli inceneritori e l'inquinamento del pianeta.
And it has its Italian premiere next Wednesday in Florence. Next Wednesday in Florence, this will be.
E questo verrà presentato il prossimo mercoledì a Firenze.
Next, our book the English edition of our book, Zero Waste, Untrashing the Planet One Community at a Time, will be hopefully published in the spring.
Questo film, only in English, Professor, or also in Italian?
Next.
No, questo. Professor,
yes.
Only in English or also in Italian?
Well, you've already got the Italian version.
No, just for translating. Only in English.
The English edition will be published, but it's expanded.
Okay. A breve verrà anche verrà pubblicata l'edizione Zero Waste il libro Zero Waste.
So the message is, in my view, we have to save the planet one community and one corporation at a time. We can't wait for big governments to do this. We, the people, must do this. We must recapture our communities.
dobbiamo salvare, bisogna cominciare dal micro per passare poi al macro, quindi una comunità, un paese, una corporazione alla volta, cercare di portarla al rifiuto zero.
So we must say no to incineratori, no to landfills, no to privatization of water, no to genetic engineering, no to pesticides, but yes, yes to zero waste, yes, yes, yes to sustainability, yes, yes, yes to slow food, yes, yes, yes to zero emissions.
Allora, bisogna dire no agli inceneritori, alle discariche, a tutto quello che è il vecchio sistema di smaltimento dei rifiuti, ma dire sì al rifiuto zero, sì al futuro, sì ai bambini, sì al riciclo, sì a tutto.
Next. But we must have fun doing it.
Ma deve essere divertente farlo.
We mustn't get miserable whilst we're doing this. I mean, there's a lot of miserable things happening, but we mustn't be miserable. Next. So, I'm happy to tell you that the Hotel Association of Capri is very much supporting zero waste. It's part
il rifiuto zero è molto supportato dall'associazione Hotel di Capri.
It's part of Zero Waste Campania, the Hotel Association of Capri, and they put out cartoon books to educate the tourists that come through to this area. And guess who? This is Aladdin, right? Guess who the genie is here?
A Capri addirittura hanno pubblicato un fumetto, dei pamphlet per illustrare ai turisti come fare il rifiuto zero. Con Aladino il genio.
Okay, next. And can you read this? Can you read this? Make love, not waste. Yeah, when I was in the Vietnam peace movement, it was make love, not war, right?
Fate l'amore, non spazzatura.
And I tried very hard with that slogan. I made as much love as I could. Now, there is a problem. There is a problem with this.
C'è un problema.
You might be too young, or you might be too old.
Forse potete essere giovani o forse troppo.
As you get older, this gets more difficult. Ask the old men in here, it's very difficult. So we have another slogan. Make friends, not waste. Make friends, not waste.
Quindi per tutti fate amicizia, non fate spazzatura.
That's easy, that's easy. Next, and then we have the song. We can have fun with the song. You've already learned this, haven't you? So let's sing this one more time. No ali incineratori, no ali incineratori, no ali incineratori, esisti modo migliore. Mine eyes have seen the garbage that's a smouldering on the grate. We must stop incineration before it is too late. Unless we wish the dangers, we had better separate, and we must do it now. Next. Well, next. No ali incinerator.